Have you been listening to us for a while? Bless you for your patience and your willingness to hear yet another analogy and another analogy and another analogy, wanting to help you to bring to your physical experience, to this powerful moment in time, context of how it all fits together. Not for the sake of the expansion of the universe, because that happens whether you understand the context of it or not. In other words, expansion is happening. Your own expansion is happening. Not for expansion of the universe are we delighted about your willingness to understand this, but for the deliberateness of capturing your own moment by moment joyous experience. It's supposed to feel good to you. You're supposed to vacillate between something that's really fun and something that's really interesting, something that's fascinating, something that calls you. In other words, not one of you said, I'll go forth and I'll be the one who suffers. I'll go forth and I'll stir it up, and I will deliberately hold myself in vibrational resistance to my own expansion. And so I'll have a lot of struggle and a lot of pain and a lot of grief. And when others look at me, they'll feel better about their lives. None of you said that. What you said was, I'll go forth and I'll come to new awarenesses, and I'll feel the vibrational difference in the newness, but I'll find a way to focus until I make it my own vibration. And when I do, then manifestation will come as demonstration, as actualization, as manifestation of the thought that I've been holding. So we've been explaining it to you. We're going to give this to you briefly, and then off we'll go into some new understanding. So you've been launching these rockets, and as you've been launching these rockets, you've created a vibrational version. Can you sort of accept that there is a vibrational precursor to everything that is physical? Yeah. So you're launching these rockets, and the source within you is holding in what we've been calling a vibrational reality, the furthermost expanded leading edge version of that which is you. So there is a vibrational prosperity. There is a vibrational relationship. There's a vibrational everything that matters to you that exists and must exist before it can manifest. And you are the one who has launched it. That's what step one is. Step one of the three-step process. You've launched these rockets. Step two is there has been a culmination of everything that you've asked for. And your source is there, maintaining the frequency of it. And law of attraction is has gathered, in fact, all of the cooperative components. And then your conscious, deliberate work is what the step three is. You must become a vibrational equivalent of what you've asked for. In other words, you have to feel prosperity before prosperity can demonstrate itself in your life experience. If you are feeling not enough money and asking for more money, but the feeling within you is one of fear or one of anger or one of disappointment or one of jealousy, then the emotion that you're feeling is your indicator that you're not vibrationally up to speed with the abundance. In fact, the emotion that you're feeling is your indication that you are vibrationally not up to speed with your abundance, but you are vibrationally up to speed with the absence of that abundance. You've got split energy going on within you, and to the point that there's not enough action in the world. You can't work enough hours. You can't make enough phone calls. You can't try hard enough. You can't use your words enough. You can't convince others enough of your worthiness when your own vibration defies it. You've got to feel prosperous. And our physical friends say, well, Abraham, let the money flow to me, and I promise you, I will feel prosperous. And we say, we know. And in many cases, you think that that's how it worked out for others. Oh, look, money's flowing. They feel prosperous. I would like some of that to come to me. But we want you to understand, there is a vibrational currency that all of you have equal access to. And as you hear what we're saying today, and you try just a little bit to apply these processes that will change the vibrational frequency of your now point of attraction, it will be like pushing the reset button and all kinds of things. It will be like establishing a personal paradigm shift in this universe, where now everyone and everything accepts your new point of attraction and responds to you accordingly. And the manifestations will demonstrate, they will accentuate the vibrational shifting that has taken place. But it's not just the manifestations that are your indicator. It's not just those vivid demonstrations that we want you to focus on. It's the emotion in the moment, because the emotion in the moment is literally letting you know what pathway you're on. And the way you feel lets you know how you're going to feel when you get there. So, do you get the idea of this vibrational reality? So as we've been telling you the story of the vibrational reality, we've been talking to you, we have been calling it the vortex, the vibrational reality, the vortex of creation. Wrote a whole book about it. And we wanted to get your attention that as you expand, that we stand in your vortex, maintaining the frequency of what you've been asking for. But today we want to remind you that every thought you think is causing a vibrational version to be created. In other words, you've got vibrational versions of wanted and unwanted. So let's say that you're disappointed in something. Doesn't matter how it came about. Maybe somebody told you something, maybe you observed something, but you're feeling disappointed about it. And as you begin to feel that disappointment, you've got 17 seconds to head it off. Esther said to a friend the other day, there's something I need to tell you, and I've only got 17 seconds to do it in. So listen up. So you've been saying to us for a while something that sounds a little bit like, Abraham, I've jumped out of an airplane. I have no parachute. What do you think I should do now? And we say, hang on, it'll be over in a little bit. Because there's a momentum that is underway that there is not a likely action that you're going to find that's going to change the direction of your free fall. So a similar thing happens when you get this thought momentum going. So let's say that you have this thought, and then you have this, and with this thought comes this feeling. But you're not queued up, you're not determined yet, you're not really wanting yet to maintain control of your thought. And so you just let the thought unfold. And as it does, you add more to it. Law of attraction actually adds more to it. You begin to remember other things like it. And now you're off and running. And now you've crossed the 68-second point, and so it seems logical to you that you should call someone to discuss this with them. And you know exactly who to call, don't you? You know who to call. So you call that person who lets you vent and who often has insightful, equal things to say in return. So now you've really got good momentum going on this unwanted thing. We just want to point out to you that that's what carving that pathway is. Been telling the story of some pipes in Texas that help a pond function. Some pipes draw water out into a filter, and then other pipes allow the water to go back in. It's the filtering process for this pond. The pond got all cloudy because some of the pipes were clogged. And we say they were clogged from neglect. So we want to say to you that you've got some clogged pipes about things that you want because you don't think about the things you want. And you've got some open pipes about things you don't want because you give it a lot of attention. So we're suggesting that you let the pipes that lead where you don't want to go just clog up from neglect while you open the pipes to things you do want with your thought. Don't you like the picture of that? The other day, Esther was visiting with a friend, and they had such a synergy going, so much good momentum going. The words that they were saying, it felt so good. energy was running all through Esther's body, and it occurred to her, this feeling of this energy running, by the time there's enough momentum going, it was way more than 68 seconds. It was a minute or 2 or 3 or 4 or 5 or 10 or 15 or 20. It had been many minutes of staying in this high-flying, good feeling. And it occurred to Esther, can you imagine what we are doing with those pipes? If it feels like this in our body, where's this energy going? It's going outward into the universe. It's opening pathways. It's opening pathways between where I stand and where I want to be. Pathways that law of attraction will cause rendezvous all day, every day. So, there is a momentum to your thought. A momentum to your thought that causes the pipelines to be open. Pretty simple concept, isn't it? I'm going to open the pathways to things I want by talking about them in a way that feels good to me when I speak about them. And I'm going to let those pipelines that are leading to things I don't want just close up from neglect. And it is our promise to you that through those pipelines, through those vibrational pipelines, will come all manner of things to surprise and delight you. First thing that comes is emotion. Emotion is the first manifestation. We want to call emotion a manifestation. What could be realer than that feeling of love, or that feeling of appreciation, or that feeling of passion, or that feeling of worthiness or eagerness or clarity? What could be a more tactile, visceral demonstration or manifestation than the emotion that is rippling through your body? Are you willing to call it a manifestation? We don't care. We're calling it a manifestation. Emotion is the first manifestation that lets you know the direction of your thought. And it won't show up immediately. You have to be sensitive to it. In other words, if you wait until the momentum's really going before you recognize it, now it's harder to stop. Imagine being in San Francisco, your car's perched on the top of the hill. And just to demonstrate to yourself what momentum is, you bump it a little from behind. And then you come to your senses because you realize what's going to happen because you're smart. And you step right out in front of the car and it bumps up against you and nothing happens. You stop the momentum before it gets started. But what if you were waiting at the bottom of the hill for that car? You have a different feeling about momentum at the bottom of the hill, don't you? So we're suggesting that the sooner you catch the momentum of a thought, so that you know if it's a thought that you want to perpetuate or cease, whether you want to turn the other cheek. Jesus had a really good idea. Whether you want to give your attention to it and therefore perpetuate it, or whether you want to withdraw your attention from it and cease your vibrational and subsequently manifestational relationship with it. Clear, isn't it? It's so clear. We've enjoyed this interaction immensely. We are eager to talk with you about anything that is important to you. There is nothing that is off limits. You're going to notice about us that we are not going to eagerly pursue a discussion on things that may be opening pathways or keeping pathways open or adding momentum to unwanted things. While we do understand that step one is an important part of the equation, we'll hear you briefly, but we really would like this gathering to be for you about feeling the momentum of open pipes toward what you want. We would really like this gathering to be a resetting of your vibrational button. We would like you to leave this gathering at a different vibrational frequency than you began with here today. And we are excited about not only how it feels while that's happening, but what comes next and what comes next and what comes next and what comes next. Because there is a certain momentum that will demonstrate itself to you, which will return you, our favorite part, to your understanding of your worthiness, to your understanding of your value. Because there is nothing that makes you feel more worthy than to sift and to decide, and then to deliberately align and know that you have, and to feel the satisfaction of that alignment in the moment and moment and moment and moment, and then to witness the demonstration of your alignment. Nothing will make you feel more worthy. Nothing will make you feel more invincible. Nothing will return to you your sense of self-empowerment as much as that.